Hear ye, hear you, and now listen to another meeting of the Clubhouse with the Mouse Jones podcast. And this is I don't want to say special episode. This is definitely a necessary episode. As everyone is probably aware at this point, Touré, the esteemed writer, journalist, on-air talent for many years in this industry, was on the Clubhouse recently with Jamilah Lemieux discussing their recent appearance on the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. After that show came out, we posted the promotion photo to my personal Instagram, Mouse Jones, and a coworker, colleague, and new friend of mine, Dani, was underneath in the comments and told, all of us now, what her interaction in the workplace had been with Touré. After these, I don't even know if accusations is the right word. But after I learned of this, I called Touré. I texted Touré, told him to give me a call. He called me. We spoke about it. So Touré did acknowledge it. We were supposed to speak later on that day. I did not hear back from him. But I would not be the person that I say I am. I would not be the person that that people have believed me to be, with wanting to see equality and protection of women, especially Black women, if I did not listen to this woman's story and give her the opportunity to tell her story as she asked. And so that's what I did. I gave her an opportunity to come on the show and speak her half and her side and say what she had to deal with. I hope I did that justice. But I do, before we get into the episode, I would want to give everyone who's dealt with sexual trauma or sexual harassment, I would want to give them a heads up that we do speak pretty in depth about what she had to hear and endure during her time working with Touré. So I don't want anyone to get triggered. So if you are triggered by things like that, you should probably stop listening now. And also, before we get into the episode, like I said on the prior 2 episodes, if you have been a victim of any type of sexual assault, whether it be in the workplace or at home, I want you to feel free to call the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-4673. Once again, that is 1-800-656-4673. And the next voice you will be hearing is mine and Dani discussing this. I would like to welcome Dani Castro to the Clubhouse. Or is it Dani Castro? Is it Makeup by Dani? What are we?
We could do Dani Makeup.
Dani Makeup.
Yeah.
Okay, Dani
Makeup.
You
put my last name out there already, but
listen, great thing about this being a recorded podcast, it never happened.
True.
All right. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming in. Now, me and you met on the set of BET's Colorways and Toe Boxes. I want to say, what was that? Last month?
Yeah.
And you were a makeup artist there.
Mm-hmm.
So please I know you. Mm-hmm. Please tell the people who may not be familiar with you what it is that you do within this industry.
Okay. So I work in TV. Mostly work for ABC.
As a makeup artist.
As a makeup artist. Viacom as well. That's like one of my homes. And I freelance all around, but those are my main 2. So that's
shout out to the Viacom family. We appreciate those checks as well. Shout out to y'all. Where'd you grow up? Because we grew up not too far from each other, right?
Yeah, I grew up in West Babylon on Long Island.
Suffolk County. The 631 in here.
Scruffick, I said.
It's Yuckfic. And growing up, did you always want to be a makeup artist or?
No, I never really knew. I just knew that I wanted to own a business. And I didn't want a boss.
So I'm
a freelancer. So I own my own business.
Nice.
I'm my own boss.
No, I don't want no beef. So how did you go about getting into that? Because like I said, we're from Long Island. It's not a large, if any, creative spaces on Long Island. So how did you go about getting into the industry and working for these major corporations?
I made a few bad decisions in my early 20s and basically during the recession, I got laid off of my job, came out of a bad breakup, and I was like, what am I going to do? And then I looked into beauty school, and I was like, this is cool. And I always had like a thing for beauty, just being a girl.
Right.
And I just went, and then I just found myself, and that was it. It was a wrap. I started doing makeup 11 years ago.
All right, so you're like a veteran in this game.
I'm in it.
Like a makeup veteran. You can make yourself a little team. So what was like your first big job?
My first big job was my first celebrity was Snooki.
And how'd that happen? How'd that come about? Or you just...
I was just, you know what? I was one of the best ones out there on Long Island.
Ooh, talk that talk.
And, she asked my boss, or her people got in touch with my boss somehow because he was like in the club scene. We need someone to do her makeup. And he was like, she's the best. She's got to go. So I did it.
You remember Club Ice?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember the Crazy Donkey?
Both those places like destroyed my life at one point.
I was telling my girl like, I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, that we used to beat up the Gotti boys.
Oh my
God. The Gotti brothers.
Yep.
We used to beat them up in ice. Did
you go to Posh too?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Garden City Hotel.
Yes. And then we used to and then you get older and then we started going to Rumba Sky and we started going to Nakasaki's and shit like that. And then once I discovered the Long Island Railroad, it was quiet.
Yeah.
For any moves on Long Island.
Yeah, I started coming into the city every weekend when I was 19.
That long?
Yeah.
Why you wait so long?
What do you mean?
I was out. The thing is, my dad's from Brooklyn, so like we was out here a lot more often. But 19.
Yeah, 19. But that's like a good age, I survived Long Island.
Copa used to do teen nights.
Teen nights, yeah. Remember? Did you go to United Skates in teen
Come
nights?
on, of course. What?
You were definitely grinding on the dance floor.
That's all I was doing. Shout out United Skates for all the times when I couldn't get to Empire in Brooklyn. I would settle for United Skates, and it was a nasty time. Shout out to being 15.
That was so
you remember?
fun.
You remember Cedar? Remember Cedar nights?
Yes.
At Cedar Beach.
Yes.
So many trouble nights.
Long Island was fun. It just, I don't know, something about it just never really felt like home.
Right. That's why I tell a lot of people, like, it just felt like growing up. I never liked being on Long Island. Like, I always hated it, and everybody be like, "Why?" I'd be like, it's no different from being like watching TV and like you see Clark Kent is from like Smallville.
Yeah,
that's what Long Island feels like. Like a whole bunch of people just. They get old and do the same thing as their parents, and then get old and get old.
And
everybody
they stay in the same town. And they marry the same people. They hang out at the same bars for the rest of their life.
Right, like people our age look 40 now.
Oh,
but then again, a lot of white people on Long Island they age bad, but
because of the sun.
It's the Long Island sun.
Yeah. Did you ever go to Midgetville?
No, what? Midget?
You gotta check out Midgetville.
Can we say that on here? We can say midget.
That's what it's actually called.
Oh, hey, don't give me. Listen, I'm in hot enough water.
Listen, it's actually, if you look it up, it's Midgetville.
And what is that?
It's a little town on Long Island that has all these small houses.
Like tiny houses?
Yeah. Like the doors are like the size of our bodies.
It's out east?
Yeah, not too far though.
All right, I'm gonna have to check this.
Maybe like Holbrook.
Small Personsville. Out just once.
Small persons.
So, you said your first job as a makeup artist was with Snooki, right?
Yeah.
Since Snooki, who have you worked with?
Oh Lord.
Outside of the, greatest personality out, Mouse Jones, who else have you worked with?
That's number one, right? From there, I got hired at MTV, so a whole bunch of girl code, guy code, personalities, that whole train, and then. From there, I did a bunch of stuff at Huffington Post Live and AOL, which was like, whoever rolled through there.
Mm-hmm.
From like Arnold Schwarzenegger to 9 Inch Nails to Orange is the New Black.
So as a makeup artist, you just sit on, you have no idea who's coming in the day. You're just sitting around waiting for people to come in?
Sometimes you have a schedule, sometimes you don't. But at that point, it's just like whoever. And then right after that, I started working with 50 Cent.
On 50 Central.
Yeah, I did the pilot for him, and then a whole bunch of other things. Then GMA started rolling.
Good Morning America. You can start on them a little bit,
America.
for the people that don't know what GMA stands for. So
shout out to GMA.
Shout out to Why you
ABC.
shout them out? They didn't hire me yet. When they gonna hire me. When they hire me, I'll shout them out. So when did you start working with Time? When did you start working at Time Inc?
Time Inc. Okay, so actually, the producers for the pilot for 50 Cent were the ones that were like, they saw me working with him that I could handle like whatever,
Now, when you say handle whatever, what is
like
it?
celebrity status? Like, you know how it is. Like, some people can't handle themselves, right? So, I didn't like freak out and wasn't like, oh my God, can I have your autograph? None of that shit.
Right.
And then the producers were like, yo, we got this show at People. It's called People Magazine Entertainment Weekly, but they called it Pen.
Pen.
It was like an app that they had. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, we got the show, you're on board? I'm like, yeah, of course. So it was easy. It was 2 hours, an hour of the show, but like, you get ready.
2 hours.
2 hours, yeah. So that started fall 16, and I left fall 17.
And that's when you meet Touré. Now, when you meet Touré, have you heard of him before? Did you have any idea who he was?
No, I had no clue. Sometimes for me, to not look so much into somebody before I work with them is better. I'll just like check out a picture. And I was like, oh, he looks familiar. I've seen him. Like, it wasn't like I knew him or I really didn't even know what he did. Production
on the show begins. And at that point, what is the relationship like between you and Touré?
So let me just like kind of set up the scenario. There was a girl host too.
Okay.
So I used to come in early for her, and I would get her ready. So Touré would kind of stroll in, and he would stroll in where we would be talking our girl talk and all that kind of stuff. And we would like calm down when he came in there and stuff, but he just always had something to say. And
what do you mean he had something to say? Like,
oh, Dani, would you get dick this weekend? Is that what you're talking about?
Okay.
It's vulgar.
Right.
You know what I mean? It sucks to hear, and it's like shitty for it to like.
So off rip. So
he felt too comfortable.
Now, when did that begin? When did you notice like, okay, he's a little comfortable?
Not too far into the show. Like maybe a couple weeks, a couple Mondays.
And at that point, are you like taking him to the side, like, hey, yo, relax, like?
No, it started off as just like a you know what I mean? Like things like that. It was like little comments like, ugh, you're gross. Like, come on. And then be like, come on, you're
And
disgusting.
he's doing this in the presence of the other female co-hosts and
the producer.
Okay.
And a PA.
And does anyone...
3 girls.
Is anyone... So all of you guys are women. And he's speaking like this, directing it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else.
And no one is saying anything?
Everybody... It was just kind of like a eye-rolling, like... Oh, sorry. It was kind of like an eye-rolling, like, oh, he's so gross. But to be honest with you, we all knew the situation where he was kind of like Time Inc. really, really liked him. And the show was not going to go on without him. And he made more money than the other hosts. Like, there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes that made us all salvage our jobs. You know what I mean?
And this was like common, this was something acknowledged between the three of you, or at least to yourself. You're like, oh, we know if we out this guy or if we make too much noise about this, it could be our job.
Yeah.
And did he ever acknowledge that?
No. He didn't give a shit. He came in late all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it was all about Touré. That's what the show was. But, so we just didn't say anything. We all kind of stuck together. I was just like, he's an asshole. We know that. You know what I mean? And we just kind of all dealt with it together. And then when we used to go on set, it kind of like rolled over to set where...
Like the actual set, like now there's camera people around and...
Yeah, lighting, camera...
Right. So now the crew is around now, right?
Yeah, and the show was at a bar.
Okay.
So during the show, they were drinking.
Okay.
So when I would do touch-ups, because you get hot when you drink, right? He would be sweating.
I wouldn't know. I don't drink water. It's
Okay,
kind of
I mean,
refreshing.
you've seen people get
Cool you
flushed. So yeah, so I would go touch him up after every break, and he would just say like, "Oh, Dani, like, look at that outfit on you. Like, oh my God, and touch me again." You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Yeah, and I got to the point where everybody in the crew would just look at me and be like, "Fuck you, Touré. Just fuck off." Everybody knew. It would just like be a battle between who's going to say what next.
Between you and him.
Yeah.
So when you're saying things like fuck off and you're saying things that are letting him know you're not into this and you're not okay with this.
No, yeah, of course. I was like, just like that. Fuck off, Touré.
And what would his response be?
Oh, Dani. Like, just like, oh, whatever.
Right.
Don't be so sensitive. You know I'm joking, but it's like, it's not a joke. You know what I mean?
And
it wasn't every time that he said, this is a joke.
Okay.
You know, it was.
So there was times where he said, this is a joke. Mm-hmm. And then there were times, and you're saying there was time that he did not say it was a joke. Mm-hmm. And were you, all right, so when he said it was a joke, were you giving him, or were you joking back and forth? Was it a shared in joke?
No, I kind of like played it off like you're so gross, haha. You know, like sometimes like there's a defense mechanism. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting there, nobody else is defending me, nobody else is saying anything. Like, what are you doing to this girl? Like, stop. You know what I mean? So I'm just sitting there, just like trying to get through this hour that I have to deal with him, and that's it. So sometimes I would be in the mood for it, and sometimes I wasn't. So sometimes, like, I could tolerate it. Not that I'd be in the mood to be harassed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
No, I could tolerate it, or I prepare myself before I walk in the door. Like, if I was in my own mood, like, I don't fucking deal with this shit, and you just prepare yourself.
Now, when it gets to that point, how many months in are we, or weeks for that man? What is the time?
I mean, it was really, we even switched like 2 producers at that point. Like, it was new. You know what I mean? It wasn't like maybe a couple months.
And you never said anything to anyone higher up because
I knew they thought he was like the, you know, the it thing. For them. Yeah.
And at the time, were you aware of anyone else dealing with this? Once y'all hit, once.
So I did work with a few people from Time Inc. You know, like, it's a small industry. You run into people, and I always ask them, like, how is he? You know, like, do you deal with him? And they just say, like, he doesn't say anything to us. He's just really, like, creepy. Like, you get creepy vibes. So I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, it
could. That's just opinion. So.
Yeah. I mean, we can't. Creepy vibes. You know, it's not enough to say, oh, you know, to write someone off. What you're saying.
No, I'm just saying that's what I've heard, that, you know, it means nothing, but that's it.
So what was the moment, or what was the infraction, or the phrase, or whatever it was? What was the point to where you were like, all right, this is enough?
It's just like, it just got so annoying. And I started to get other job opportunities, and I was like, why am I coming to this job dealing with this when I can just go somewhere else? So I actually really didn't have like a job as soon as like a permanent job, you know what I mean? Right. As soon as I left there. But I just left. I told them I was going somewhere else.
But you
and I never went there, so they know that I lied, you know.
Right. But you left there prior to him leaving.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna put my friend in there. And she actually came to shadow me one day to see how, you know, the flow and everything. And she was like, dude, he's so aggressive. I don't know how you do it. And she ended up maybe like working twice with him. She was like, he's not as bad as he was with you. But yeah, I don't like it.
Now, you said at one point that whenever you would it got to the point where like you felt like you needed security, or not security, if not like a security person, just
a security
third
blanket.
Party in the room when you were doing his makeup.
Yeah.
And how would they interact with it? Or would that even stop them?
Well, like, you know, a couple of times we would all joke around. It wasn't all like, you know.
Right.
like harassment 24/7. It was like just, they would walk out of the room, and that's when he would start like the whispering creep, like, so Dani, like, what if you just sucked my dick like just once? Like, I wonder what it'd be like to fuck you. Like, oh my God, I would bend you over. Oh my God. Dani, it would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun.
And
yeah.
What happened when you finally reported him?
So
because you reported him after you were already gone, right?
Yeah, so everybody at work was like, you should report this, like, when you leave. Like, and I was just like, I don't need the headache. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people were like, who the hell is Touré? Like, if you're not in music, you know what I mean? Or if you're not into the old school, into like journalism like that, like, you're just like, huh? So I was just like, whatever, And it wasn't like about like clout chasing or anything like that. Just to let that clear. It was just like I got him fired, and I put him up on my Instagram, but my old Instagram got hacked.
Okay.
So that's why it's not there anymore. But I did post it, and like people are coming to me today like, I'm so happy that you reposted it and blah blah blah. So what happened was that I left there in 2017.
What month?
In October.
Okay.
In December, that's when I get a text from my friend on a weekend saying, did you see this? And it's a screenshot of Touré is sitting with Ebro this morning, blah, blah, blah. Actually, I'm sorry. I already got the apology.
So there was an acknowledgement from him that what he was doing was wrong.
I already got the apology.
So how did that come about?
Okay, so I remember, I think it was in December too. He went on Good Morning America.
Okay.
And I wasn't there that day. I was in ABC News Uptown, different building. So I didn't see him. And he went to Good Morning America and to talk about Matt Lauer.
Yes.
And I guess in the conversation, he said that he tried to rape him or something, and he was on Good Morning. Did you read that?
I did. I read.
Yeah, that
I
was
read
about
it from
Matt
that.
Lauer.
Yeah, and I was confused. I never heard that story, but
me neither. But I don't know. That's what he said. So I guess he felt the need to tell me that he was on GMA that day. And that's when I said what I said, and everybody read the conversation. And then like a month or a couple weeks after, that's when I'm chilling on my couch and my friend texts me, did you see this shit? And it's him. Touré is on Hot 97 talking to Ebro about harassment. Mm-hmm. And or sexual harassment, Weinstein, Lauer, whatever the fuck was.
Right, me too.
Yeah, me too. And I was like, this motherfucker, are you kidding me? Like, you can't, that's the thing, like, people don't understand, like, the only thing I want him to do is to just stop talking about sexual harassment. That's literally, I don't want anything else from him. Like, that's it. That's it. Like, just stop. So after that Monday, I contacted HR and
because he's still, while he's visiting these places, he's still working at time. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I contacted HR and they said, at first they were like, well, why now, pretty much? And then I told them, same thing, the Hot 97 thing. And she said, can you send over those screenshots of the conversation? So I did. She calls me back and she says, I have to talk to so-and-so. I wrote him a note. He doesn't get back for a little bit, but this is, I'm very sorry you went through this, and this is really disturbing, and like I don't feel comfortable. So we will have an answer for you by the end of the week. And then she said, so I will be, and at the same time she said, oh wait, he's calling me, the person who was supposed to take by the end of the week. She called me back and she said that he was terminated.
So
that is unacceptable.
So immediately
that day that I wrote to HR. Yeah.
So but you had already received the apology.
Yeah.
How did the apology come about?
What you saw in the conversation?
No, I'm saying yeah, that's what I'm saying. What prompted that? Just from him hitting you up and asking you? Just
like how he even like started the conversation, like, hey boo, like we're not cool, like no, you know what I mean? Like when I said what's up, Harv, I meant Harvey Weinstein. Like I don't play with him. Like I'm telling you, like, I didn't sit there and play the victim and now I'm all of a sudden speaking out. Like, he knew that this was fucked up and I thought it was fucked up from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is nothing new. That's why his apology was so blah, like, yeah, whatever. Because he this is nothing new to him. So whatever, he got fired at Time Inc. And then I didn't hear from him. And then all of a sudden, you got to turn on this R. Kelly, right?
Right,
So
right.
Saturday, I'm posted up on my couch, ready to watch this shit. And I turn it on, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? This is a joke, right?
Right.
So then I have to...
Well, no, that's not a joke, but I'm saying right
Yeah.
along the thought process.
But yeah, so I had to watch... I mean, it was really important to watch the whole
Of
thing,
course.
so I watched the whole thing.
And as you're watching it, I'm guessing every time he comes on screen, there's a feeling.
Do you know what I really thought of? I feel so bad for the girl doing his makeup today.
Wow.
Yeah. He actually came to he was supposed to speak for the anniversary of the death or Michael Jackson's birthday or something. There was a special in 2020 this past year.
Okay.
Talking about all
Might have been his death.
I don't remember.
June
We
or
were on
something,
location doing the shoot. It was
Okay.
it was in Washington Heights, I think. And of course, I didn't get a schedule at all. They just said you be here by this time, and that's it. And people are going to be rolling in and out because it's an interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was last. He comes in, and I'm standing in the kitchen. It's a house. I'm standing in the kitchen organizing my stuff. He sees me from behind. He goes, "Hey, how are you?" And I turn around. We locked eyes, and I was like, "Hi," and he walked out.
Why do you think he walked out?
So he walked out because he panicked. He knows what he did. I'm telling you.
And he was already fired for this at the time. So he's so just for the listeners at home, you run into him on this Michael Jackson shoot.
Yep.
Y'all see each other, but at this moment, he's already been fired for the way he interacted with you at time.
Correct. This is like almost a year later. Yeah. So, he walked out. He told the producers at first that he had a family situation he had to deal with. For like 15 minutes, everyone's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I'm like, oh shit, is he talking about this? Like, do I have to be prepared to deal with something? And then nothing. Everyone was just like, I don't know, 20 minutes later, the producer takes me outside and she's like, he left.
So he never did the...
No, they rescheduled him. She was like, he left. And I was like, oh, did he tell you why? And she said, yeah, he said that he had a personal issue with somebody on set that he felt really uncomfortable working with. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, that's me. And she was like, what happened? I told her, and she was like, that's really unfortunate. And I'm very sorry you went through that.
Now that could cause problems for you going forward. In that moment, right? That could cause problems.
I was
for you
willing
going
to
forward.
do it.
No, I'm saying him. You're saying that for that reasoning that he gave to the producer, saying, "Hey, I have problems with somebody on set. I don't feel comfortable recording." That could cause problems for you down the line.
For me?
Right. So if they deem you, somebody who causes problems for the talent.
No, I've been in this industry for 7 years, and I've never had a problem with that talent ever. This is the first person, so I mean, I'm not the problem. You know what I mean? If you have a talent on set that can't handle himself, that is not my problem. You know what I mean?
Now, has Touré tried to reach out outside of the DM conversation that everyone's seen now?
No.
And so there's been...
I had him blocked all last year, too, on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even want to take that chance, actually.
And what is your... So now, him and Jamilah come on the Clubhouse with me. We speak about surviving R. Kelly. Mind you, I have no idea of this. Myself, my producer, Jonathan Mena, we had no idea about, this. This is just like I said on the show, this is an interview that I had been trying to lock in for some time growing up, you know, looking up to Touré and both Jamilah. So I was like, I was happy to get it. We put the picture up on Instagram. That is still up there, still on Instagram. It's not deleted. I post a picture, and at this point, me and you've been, we've been acquaintances. We've known each other. We've been coworkers, friendly, for what, about a month and a half to that point.
Yeah.
You see it. What goes through your mind?
Exactly what I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was surprised that I was really that impulsive and just went out and wrote that, because usually with social media, like especially being in this industry, you want to be careful. You know, like you really do have to be careful with social media, like, you know. And yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck you? Especially because I know you, and because we're from the same hood.
Right.
I just felt comfortable writing it, and I just felt like you're too good for that.
Thank you.
And you should know.
And what has the what is that? There were 2 days past now, or yeah, we're about 2 days removed, and an Essence interview removed. What has the end result, or what has the reaction been since?
I mean, a lot of obviously, like, well, no, not obviously. Some women are supportive and some women are not, you know. But I already know who I am and what I stand for and what I'm about. You know what I mean? So the negative comments, it's just you're part of the problem, you know. And maybe you're weak. Maybe you'll take that abuse, but I won't.
Right.
So that's it.
Now, when we're looking at this when we're just talking about optics, right? They see who they seem to view as an upstanding, you know, member of society, a guy doing the work, a progressive black guy, who has worked, I'd say, pretty hard to be accepted into quote unquote white spaces. He gets into the space, and then he does this R. Kelly interview, and then he goes on surviving R. Kelly, and it looks like he's doing a lot of the work that is pushing the advancement of woman equality and anti-Me Too away. And then he gets this an accuser steps up who happens to be white. What is your answer to those people who are saying, oh, it's just another white woman trying to take a black man down, or look at this black man trying to do all this good, and now he's being accused by a white woman? What is your response to that?
Well, if you personally know me, you know that that's definitely not the issue. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I think that's bullshit, because if it was a white guy, I would do the same shit. If he was Asian, of course. Like, it doesn't matter. It did not matter what color he was. I didn't even know if he was black or Muslim, or I didn't know. I didn't care. You don't talk to somebody like that. That's bottom line. It has nothing to do with race at all. Literally nothing. But I feel bad that anyone would think like that.
Right. I mean, it's
sucks. I get it.
It's a part of, you know, as a black man in America, it's a part of the thing we have to deal with, right? But, you know, I wouldn't be who I say to be. I wouldn't be who I believe I am, and people have accepted and believed me to be. Like I said to you yesterday when we spoke, like I've told everyone, I might not be 100% on the gun-ho side of believe everybody, believe women. I might not be on that side, but I'm definitely a huge proponent of listening to women, especially black women, because we have to create a space for women to come forward with these claims of whether it be sexual harassment or worse, right? And we can't do that if the first thing we are doing is looking to defend the person standing accused. Right before all sides are heard, there's somebody over here, there's somebody over here, instead of everybody just saying, all right, let's shut up and listen. Yeah. So that's what I was hoping to do today. with having you on and creating a space and a platform. Because when you said you wanted to do it, I was like, whew, here we go. Here we go.
Well, I'm just a real person, so like I'm not scared of anything coming my way. You know what I mean? I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Right.
I have compassion. I'm a human too. I have feelings. The only thing that I do feel bad about, which we spoke yesterday, was I think I did tag his wife like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Or whenever, a year ago, on Instagram, because I think I was just that mad.
You're just that fed up.
Yeah, he has a wife and 2 kids. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
Wow. Outside of this, what do you hope is as a woman in this industry, in the entertainment industry where the Me Too movement has been the most prevalent, do you see this stopping? Do you see behavior and conduct like this coming to an end?
I definitely see a change of behavior from men. I mean, really, like, men in the past, for me, my experience, there would be like the body language would be more flirty, but never like on set. As I always hold myself professional. You've worked with me, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm not a flirt on set. Yeah. I'm not like wild.
You fully extended your arm when you were blotting my face. I appreciate it. I was like, all right, she's not in my...
Exactly that. But what was I just saying?
You were saying how you conduct yourself on set.
Yeah. So I lost my train of thought.
Because I was asking you, do you see the difference on in men in the way they're interacting with women now within our industry?
Yeah, I mean, there's more of like a wall put up. You know what I mean? Like we're coworkers. That men aren't trying to see what's up with us on the weekends anymore. You know what I mean? That's I think was like the small chit chat of getting to really know somebody on the low, or you know what I mean, or whatever. That's all gone. But I hope it does, make a change. I hope people do feel like they can speak out, because there's nothing to hide. If they don't feel bad doing that to you, you shouldn't feel bad speaking for yourself.
Right.
All you got is yourself.
That is true. That is true. Now, people are going to ask. They've already been addressing it. When you spoke with Essence, which was, recording this on a Thursday night, so you spoke with Essence Wednesday.
Last night, yeah.
Last Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So, at the point where you released the DMs and all that, Touré's already apologized, right? He's apologized for his behavior. He acknowledged the wrongdoing in his behavior. Why did you feel it necessary to push it forward and come to me about it and go to Essence about it and all this?
So after I watched his documentary, I knew it was going to be huge. I knew the R. Kelly thing was going to be huge, but I didn't think Touré would be like the spokesperson for the documentary. So I start seeing him on social media, and this morning I saw him on CNN. Like, you can't play both sides. You can't be a hypocrite on such a serious matter. Right. You know what I mean? Anything else in the world he can talk about. There's so many things going on. Why do you have to push yourself in these things? Because he's writing a book. From what I remember, he's writing a book about relationships. So he's probably trying to get himself out there. You know what I mean? Right. So I get that, but no, you can't play both sides. You just can't.
Now, is there, and this is a completely general question, in situations like these where we're not talking about sexual abuse, and we're more or less talking about inappropriate behavior and interactions.
Yeah, sexual harassment.
Yeah. Is there a place for redemption?
For him?
For anyone. Let's say for anyone.
Sure, you just got to prove yourself every day, just like everybody should. You know what I mean? You show up, you are nice to people, you know what I mean? You conduct yourself in a proper way around people, and people will start to trust you again. That's it. This is just awareness. Whatever happens for him, but you know, this happened to me.
Right.
With him.
Well, I thank you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you coming here to share your story.
Thank you.
And we wish you nothing but the best. You have, what's all the generic stuff you're supposed to say? There's always an open door here and all the stuff.
Thank you.
But most likely I will be seeing you on set.
Yeah.
Bring my blotting papers, because you know how I give it up.
Andy's going to get mad.
Yeah.
She's like, where'd you show up for the blotting?
Listen, I just need my blotting paper. I don't need all the other.
Get. That's all you get.
I don't need the other brushing and all that. My skin is beautiful. You feel what I'm saying? I drink mad essential water. I pray. Like,
praying is good.
I'm a faithful black man. Like, my skin is immaculate.
Yeah.
I don't need all that other stuff. Just my blotting papers.
Yeah, you're good.
But thank you, Dani.
You're welcome.
Tell the people if you would like where they could follow you on Instagram.
No,
but I don't think you want that.
No, you can. I mean, you could see it in all the stuff that's on the internet.
Right.
But I don't want people thinking that, like, oh, she just wants follow. I don't care.
Right.
I never really cared. I have my dream job. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like, I'm good.
All right. Well, like I said, thank you again.
Thank you.